Ding, 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 ding. Yo, it's Elliott at Farro's Lead Farm. So, I don't like to make a lot of serious videos. Today's going to be the exception. So there's a lot of talk on the news right now of this big epidemic. So, yes, there's a big epidemic. I understand that coronavirus is going around, but a lot of that is fake news, I think. So, my biggest fear and what I'm more worried about is there is an epidemic of forklift jacking that is happening right now. So forklift jacking, I'm sure you guys have heard about it. It's the same as a carjacking, but in your forklift. So this is a concern of mine I live with every single day. And, I try to be prepared. I try to be cautious, but it's a legit concern. It's a fear. So I'm going to talk to you about that today, kind of give you some tips and some measures on how to prevent, getting jacked on your forklift. So with that said, I did a little bit of research before I made this video. I took a class, an OSHA safety class on how to drive a forklift safely and all that crazy crap. And would you believe that not one mention was made of forklift jacking? So, nobody cares about your safety but me, Elliott Farro at Farro's Lead Farm. And I'm here to tell you that right now. To the extent of, I went so far as I called the government and I asked them, what do they recommend? What are their precautions? What are their safety measures to prevent this forklift jacking? And I'll be honest, they gave me this huge line of bullshit that they've never even heard of it, and you got to be out of your mind. You need to get out of the house more. You sound fat. And it didn't go extremely well. But that's just to prove my point that, it's more fake news, more misinformation. The government, the U.S. government is excellent at that. Many years of experience, okay? So that's why I'm doing this video today. I'm going to kind of show you and demonstrate some of the stuff that I've learned in my long time of driving forklifts, how to protect yourself. So number one is you want to keep your head on a swivel. All right, you're always looking around. I want to see, if anything weird or is out of place. You got to kind of understand, put yourself in a criminal's mind. So yes, I do want to jack this guy on his forklift because he's an easy target. I don't have the range, I don't have the speed. Granted, I got some kick-ass mobility. I have almost a zero turn radius, which is unheard of in a car. All right, you're just not going to get that. But it's real open cab, open roof. There's many ways that you can set up an attack angle on me. But I'm always looking out for an ambush. So some telltale signs of a forklift ambush for forklift jacking would be like a small pebble. Let's say I see I'm looking around, boom, there's a piece of gravel. All right, that's going to stop me dead in my tracks. So that's probably a setup. Or let's say a small plank of wood, a bigger crack in the concrete that is a perfect zone to set up an ambush for a forklift. So I want to watch out for that stuff. Just keep an eye out. That's my biggest defense. Two, communication. You want to let people know when you're going out of the building, where you're going, time on target, that type of thing. And you never know. Things do change. Sometimes you'll go out there and you're like, oh man, there's a pallet. I can pick that up. And so, you drive over to the pallet. Well, that was the criminal setting you up, to pick up this pallet because you can't hardly turn down a pallet. You need to get used to turning down some of these targets of opportunity. Maybe I don't want to pick up that pallet today. Does it really need to be picked up? And these are questions you need to ask yourself. But anyway, without further ado, let's get started. I'll go outside and show you some of the dangers, all right? Hopefully you can hear me well enough. Like I said, another thing I like to do, keep a full tank of propane. It just never hurts. No one ever said that they had too much propane on the forklift. So yeah, I always keep about a full tank of propane as I can keep. There I go, head on a swivel, looking out. I honk my horn, because I don't want to hit anybody, but the same aspect there, that does kind of give away my position a little bit. So you do have to be careful. All right, gonna do a little 180 action here. See if there's anything going on. I want to check my AO. I don't like really moving my head a lot, so I'll just use the forklift. That way I can look in one direction. and see the whole world around me. Okay, that's pretty clever. So anyway, I'm looking. AO looks pretty clear. And I don't really see a whole lot. There's a pallet. I ain't even gonna pick it up. I've got other things to do. I've got my mission here. I'll show you. There's this pallet. Boom. See that sucker behind me? It's not a big deal. I'm just driving away from it. I don't need to pick that up. I got other shit to do. So anyway, this is also called like a Serpentine Technique. I like to drive erratically. You know, that way they don't really know what's going on. So I'm still cruising through, life is good. And then I see it, boom, there's a pebble. Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye out. Oh my God, there he is. There is the forklift jacker. So I see him here, and I want to engage this threat. You know, judiciously, obviously, but I'm not left-handed. I don't do well left-handed. You know, it just never works out. But you got to remember, I've got this mobility factor on the old forklift, right? So boom, 180 degree time. Give myself a little 180. Poosh, look at this. I can see him, clear as day. There he is. So me personally, contrary to what the government guy said, thank you very much, Javier, I like to carry around a 9mm machine gun. The 100-round drum seems to help me out quite a bit. I use the chair for support. Sometimes I'll use my knee like this for a little bit more support. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to kind of judiciously engage the target now. Without this, I would pretty much be helpless. I would just be sitting around, maybe doing circles, trying the buzzsaw defense. But yeah, anyway, here we go. Check it out. All right, I think he's dead, but I can't go over there and check. That is grass. Like, this thing will not run on grass. That's another reason he probably set himself up there, because he knows I'm not going to go that far. I won't risk it, you know. Let's get the Nissan Titan out to drag that dude out of here. It ain't happening. So I don't want to have to get up and walk over there. So it's good to put maybe another 20 to 40 rounds in the target just to make sure. All right, so that's probably another 75 rounds or so in him. I'm fairly confident that the threat is gone and that he is dead. So here's another problem that you have now created for yourself, is all those little pieces of brass that could stop me. You know, so on my exfil here, I like to kind of keep a direct line on where I need to go, but same thing, just in case he's got buddies, I'm gonna do a little bit more serpentine. Serpentine, everybody. Everybody watch out. Watch out. So where am I going? Who knows? Nobody knows where I'm going. Oh shit, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna do a little back action. Oh snap. Here we go. Woo. All right, let's back in so I can this way I can make a real quick exfil if I needed to. See that? I'm pointed forward, put her back in front. There I go. I'm back out of the building. So just something to think about. How you pull in, how you pull out. You want to make sure your pull-out game's pretty strong, just in case there's another threat waiting in the building for you. So hit the garage door, close her down, you know, kind of keep an eye out for any more threats. I actually like to leave my forks up, just in, like right at about the shin height. It seems to be the safest way to have the forks. You know, that way, when everybody's walking around the forklift, they'll know it's a forklift. If you keep them right at shin height and they kind of run into it, they're like, oh yeah, forklift. So just something else to keep an eye out for. Then they kind of develop this back brain hatred for them, and you know, maybe you'll prevent a future crime that way. Anyway, don't forget your parking brake. Little beeping horn. This is Elliott Farro's Lead Farm. Telling you to be safe, be careful, and yeah, preferably go armed on your forklift, okay? It's not a risk you should take. I'm looking out for you. That is all. Carry on.